Okay, so what you're looking at is my first real attempt at making a tile-based game. It's actually a platformer. It actually took 2 minds. It was a joint effort of me and my good friend J.S. Lemming. We were like 14-year-old aspiring game developers together. As you can see, like, it plays like a platformer. I can't do 2 things at once with the camera. But we also added the ability for you to somehow shoot. Yeah, that's right. So you can choose a level. And actually I wasn't 14, I was 13. Yeah. And yeah, this was also the first thing I ever made in SDL. The first demo, that is, not the first actual completed thing. And yeah, it's kind of dumb, but, you know, you have to learn somewhere.
This is the very first game I've ever made with graphics. It's called Opposing Pricks. And here we go. It's just a little 2-player game. You use a single keyboard, and you just kind of sit here and shoot each other. And there's these like bouncing shields.
So you've got 2 pricks. These are what, the sprites from Donkey Kong 3?
Yeah, I think so.
God, I hated that game.
And then you just kill each other.
And this is what, Blitz Plus?
Yeah, Blitz Plus.
This is your first graphical game?
Yep.
Looks actually really cool. Your first graphical game was original also. Prick 1, Prick 2. Player 2 is the victor. Alright, bitchin'.
That is that.
Rolling.
So I decided to pay my NES some respect and make a Duck Hunt clone. I never finished this. This is pretty much all it is. Some original art at the bottom.
Frag Zero.
And this guy's got Pong physics, and I just shoot little bullets. I was gonna put in the earliest prototypes of Aqua's Blood Engine, but I never got around to it.
Yeah.
And this is an incompleted, failed project.
Okay, so here's something that I would absolutely hate myself for if I didn't show it off. I went back to my old build, and I found out that if I tried to send it to Dreamcast, it crashed, and I have no idea why. It's like a blue screen of death on a Dreamcast, so I can't actually show you in-game, but I'm still going to show you screenshots. The game was called Null, and it was a 2D platformer that I was making. Pretty much the first real game I ever tried to make. And it was for Dreamcast, of course. I think I was 14. And that summer, I pretty much did nothing but try and learn to code for Dreamcast. It was like my favorite console, and I was so determined. As you can see, one thing that we wanted to do, I was obsessed with Mega Man 3 for the NES. Like, that was my childhood. We wanted to try and recreate Mega Man 3. And this was also the first time that Marcel and I had ever really teamed up. Marcel was working on the level editor, and I actually have some pictures of that's me, like, I was 14, beta testing, Dreamcast controller. That's me. That's Marcel. I think he was 12. Look how fat he is. Look how fat that kid is. But yeah, he was 12, and he was making an editor for this game. There was the death animation. There were some particle effects we were working on. There were some particle effects. There's some more. And yeah, it was playable. I mean, it played pretty much like Mega Man 3. It was nothing insane, but I was really proud because we learned to use the Dreamcast. It was our first real game, and it actually means a lot to me. You're on.
So this is my very first Pong clone. As you can see, it's got basic AI over there. He just chases the ball.
Oh, wow.
Wow, you lose. Go fuck yourself or play again. I was like, what, 12 years old? It's got some screw ups, like the ball will randomly just turn around on you, and I mean, I was awful at physics back then, but there's my very first Pong demo.
Alright, this one's actually pretty funny. This is a level editor that I wrote at one point in time. Well, I didn't quite write it. It's not done, really. And the GUI is pretty crappy. It is C++ with SDL. It was one of the first things I did in SDL. This was for the Null platformer that Marcel and I were working on. I tried my hand at a level editor, and I didn't really finish it. It wasn't bad, I didn't think, considering it was like the first editor I'd ever made. But then, it's funny how like a few years later, my little brother comes back and completely shows me up making a level editor like 10 times as good. I'm actually afraid I'm going to crash it. But yeah, that's what this is.
Alright, so this is my very first split-screen, side-scrolling demo.
That's actually impressive.
never
I've never
finished
even
it,
split-screened.
It's, you know, as you can see, it's split-screen. It's a little uneven because of the resolution, but...
Right.
Hey, I need you to help control it. There's two dudes. There's no graphics at all, and it was going to be like a shooter.
Alright, I'm the dude on the left.
See my bullets entering your screen as it goes out of mine? So look, here, I'm entering your screen. Here I am. You see me?
Yeah.
Leave your screen. Run away. See?
Yeah, that's badass. I've never done a side scroller.
What?
Or split screen. Nice. That's very. So here's an extremely old, unoptimized version of the particle system on Dreamcast. This is actually older than the one I showed in, I don't know, I think it was the Misadventures of Game Development. You guys probably never seen it because that was back when our videos sucked more than they suck now. But, so you can see I'm emitting particles at really shitty frame rates on Dreamcast because that was back before I got good at it, I guess you could say, because I kind of sucked here. This version, though, supported transparencies, which I later realized was a mistake, but yeah, they're in. And it's link list based here, which is probably why it's at about 10 FPS when there's a bunch of them on screen. You can edit the attributes of the particles. God, you can't even see it. Hold up. You can see I'm changing the colors. And let's see how that affects it. Move the source around. This build was kind of cool because I made it where you could pause. And then, I don't know why I did this, why I bothered. Slow them down a little more. You can actually rotate the particles, like in-game. Well, in-game. During runtime. See them rotating? The extra trig, the transparencies, the link lists, all of that made it just super slow. But it's still cool. Still has a place in my heart. I think, actually, this... yeah, this particle demo is probably, to this day, it is the only thing I've ever released for Dreamcast. The only thing I ever finished, so I know that's sad, but whatever. Yeah.
I was born to make level editors. Look at this. This is my very first level editor. Back when Falco was making a game called Null.
For the Sega Dreamcast. This was the first time Marcel and I ever teamed up.
Oh god, okay. Here we go.
We've only teamed up twice, by the way.
Okay, this is how you lay crap. See? It's all laggy as crap on my computer. Switch through tiles, you know, do this and that. Notice all the Mega Man, Gemini level graphics?
Yeah, Gemini
Man. Alright, and look. Load the level. This is the latest level that he had in his game, Null. Check this out. The red line is the different screens. You fall down here, there's a secret pipe instead of dying, like you would on the actual Gemini Man level. We remade, like, half the level.
Wait, yeah, we remade most of Gemini Man stage. And, like, you could play through it on Dreamcast. It was a lot like Mega Man. Unfortunately, I don't have the build, but...
And we had, like, little secrets and that kind of
I think this was our first actually really good...
large project.
Large game that we ever worked on.
I mean, we made, like, multiple ways to beat the level. It's, like, all big and complicated.
If we'd actually finished this, it honestly would have been badass.
Yeah, I will agree.
But we did move on to bigger and better
notice,
things.
like, the random Mario tiles. This is what it would look like. Hop on the pipes, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is my very first level editor. Notice the lack of a GUI and that kind of thing.
Yeah, nice.